Good afternoon, fellow Plexers. Today's video is going to help someone out in one of the Plex groups in figuring out how to name both versions of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is now showing up as a combined show in Plex. So I'm going to be doing that without actually having the media files that he has. I'm simply going to use a dummy file I created that's about 35 seconds long. Let me click on it to show the whole world that I do not have any copyrighted material. I'm simply using a dummy media file I created to demonstrate this whole process.
Good morning, fellow Plexers. This is a short recording.
So I don't actually need a valid video file. I can use any video file I want. So one of the most important aspects is to understand the naming convention for a series or a series library. So this is what you search for, and you can read all about it yourself. And Plex basically allows you to use a naming convention at either the movie database or the TV database. They do suggest putting the year into both formats. I don't put the year into my naming structure pulled from TVDB because I've never really had a problem with Plex finding it. And truth be told, we're going to use FileBot today to show how to do it also. And FileBot, well, at least the default expression for FileBot doesn't add the year, and my own manual expressions don't add the year. But if you want to be 100% compliant, add the year no matter which database you pull from. And you could also add extra information. You can add either the TMDB or the TVDB number to the show. And Plex also explains how to do that. Let's see where they explain that, because I can't read and talk at the same time. Well, they give an example here. Here's the TVDB number. It's got to be in this format. It's got to be in the curly Q brackets. It has to be either TVDB or TMDB dash with a valid database number from each. So it's always good to have a working knowledge of all the rules. So I'm going to start with a couple different folders to work with. So we can recreate this both ways, and we'll use these two shows as an example. Well, so if I click into it, I can literally just copy this, and that's the proper TV show folder name and the proper part for the first part of your episode name, removing any illegal characters like colons or question marks. So I'm going to do a new folder, and well, actually my Linux operating system will take the question mark. So we'll leave it, and we'll see if FileBot will handle that too. So I'll click into this show. So now we have a folder for each show. So all I have to do now is copy this into both folders. So while we're doing that, let's copy this again, and I'll create the file name for this as episode 1. So you'd actually fill in the actual episode name instead of episode name as a placeholder like I did. And seeing that we know the other format is so close, I'm just going to copy this to save time and click in here and apply the same name, but now I'm going to change the year to match what we want it to be for that show. So I'm also going to save a little time and paste these in here later to use to just rename manually for the other convention. So if I'm going to do it off screen, but if I copy these, and then if I paste it into my TV show library, and then bring my Plex window over, so off screen I got an error copying. So my Synology NAS does not like the question mark, even though it was fine with my Linux file system on my desktop computer. So instead of having to do that twice again later, let me ditch that and put the fixed ones in there. So I'll copy those. Let me bring my server window back, and you can see I'm detecting intros. I've recently moved all my media over to a new Synology DS1520 Plus from my older DS1019 Plus, which is eventually going to be just a backup NAS. Alright, so now I'll try again. I'll paste those two in and we'll see if we have any detection. Alright, so you can see how it's detecting the series. And you can see that Plex found each of them without an issue. So if I click into this one, it only has the one dummy episode. And of course, if I play it, it won't be the episode, it'll be my little dummy file that I created. So what do you do if you didn't name your files properly and those two shows are combined? Well, you simply go into the show at the top level. You don't want to be into the season level. You want to be at the top level. And then you click the three dots for more, and you'll have a split apart option here. Once they're split apart, you can then come back and you can fix match the show, but you've got to make sure it's the right show. And to do that, click the edit icon. I'm sorry, you can't do it at the show level. You have to do this from the episode level. Click the edit icon on the episode, click info, and now you can be sure that you're using the 1998 version that you want to fix match to the 1998 version. And then you return to the top level of the show and you click the three dots and you choose fix match. Now you can do that without renaming your files. If you want to get your files in the proper format and structure, you'd copy them off your server back to a neutral directory like I'm using here. It could be on your NAS, it could be on your computer, doesn't matter where it is as long as it's outside of Plex. The unfortunate part of Plex is it will remember in more cases than not how it scanned the media in originally. Excuse me, even if you change the file name slightly. So what you want to do is you want to go to your library and you want to remove the media from your library folders, and then go to your Plex library and you'll want to scan it, and then you'll want to empty the trash after it's done scanning. Once that's finished, you'll go to settings and you'll go down to troubleshooting and you'll click clean your bundles. Now that may take a while if that's not part of a regular scheduled task. So sit down and get your media renamed. All right, so let me pull this out because we want to do the same thing named as how it would be listed at the TV database. Well, I could have just deleted off the NAS instead of copying it back. But either way, it will be out of Plex. So I didn't catch that. But now if we search for it. So Plex is a little bit slow because it's detecting intros, but you see the trash can icons. Eventually it will be gone. Let me get back to my TV show library. Okay, so we'll minimize Plex for a little bit, and now we're going to work on the TVDB ones the same way. So the only thing is we have to change the formatting. So the TV database doesn't use a year unless they feel it's absolutely necessary. When a TV show comes out, it just gets a standard name, and if it's rebooted in another market, it'll then get this little flag to the folder and file name. So if this show came out first in the US would have the plain name, and you'd see parentheses UK down here. You can't add the year to it, but again, this is the proper name just by itself, and you can add 1998 to it in parentheses too. So we'll do it both ways. So this is how it would look if you were taking Plex's advice to add the year. Again, I don't add the year. And we'll see if I need to once we do the test this way. So I need to adjust this also. I need to take the year out from the actual file name. And this one needs the year removed and replaced with US. So again, we have each show now prepped for how it's listed in the TV database. So let me copy them and then bring Plex back up. And if you're going to use the TV database, which I suggest you do, for this reason, the TV database will have a aired and DVD ordering for almost every show. Well, this one actually has a CW revival. Let's go back to the US show and see what they have. I'm sorry, I just was there. Let's go to that one. Okay, so you see the DVD ordering. At a show level, If your files are named for DVD ordering, Plex will scan them in with a metadata based on your ordering. But you can manually change to DVD ordering and refresh your metadata and not have to rename a single episode. And not every show has a difference between the DVD and aired ordering. If you take a show like Friends or Seinfeld, you might see 3 or 4 episodes from the whole series out of order, and usually they're within the first couple of seasons. But if you don't want to mess with renaming and you've confirmed you've got it in DVD ordering, it's a nice feature to switch to. And you can't do it if your whole structure is based on the TMDB folder and file names. So anyway, to make the change to use TV database, you want to edit your TV show library, choose Manage Library, choose Edit, click on Advanced, and the one setting you need to change is episode ordering. By default, it's for the movie database, and you just want to change it to the TV database. All right, so I'm pasting in those files. We'll expand the activity window, and you saw quickly that it found both series. And again, when I search for it, so look at the surprise I'm getting. It did combine both shows into one. Now, I've only had one misfire with all my episodes, or all my series, and that was Space 1999. Okay, so I have to be down at an episode level. And then I can click the edit, and I look at the info, and look at that, it's combined. So I won't fix match it here, but I'll show you how. So again, the 3 dots at the top level, and I can choose split apart, and then I can fix match the wrong one. But let's add the year in like Plex suggests, and I'll eat my own words a little bit about this. So let me remove it from the server yet again. And Plex will remove it. So now we're going to add the year back in. All right, so I can't do it this way. I'm surprised at myself for what I just discovered. All right, so the US one is from 1998. We'll fix the episode file name. And then this one is from 1988. And we'll fix the episode name also. Now this will test whether the last scan sticks or if a simple file renaming works. So let's get rid of both these windows for now and just concentrate on Plex. Okay, that happened too fast to really see. Well, I don't know why my search isn't working right. It's bringing up. Okay, so now we've got both shows. We didn't have the older show the last time. And let's just make sure. Yep, that's the file I just put in. So the Plex dance was not needed. And I'm going to eat my crow a little bit. With a complex show like this, you may need the year in it. So let's get rid of Plex. And I'll show you what FileBot can do and how that would rename it. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to open it in FileBot. Now it's got both series here, the 88 and 98. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, FileBot does not scale properly. The font's too small on my Linux desktop. So I'm going to choose match and use the default TV database binding in episode mode. So now it's asking me which series the 1988 one is. We know that's the older one, so I'm going to pick this. And unfortunately, FileBot screwed up and it thinks they're both from the older series. So this will not be able to be a batch rename. Each one will have to be done individually. So we'll pull in the older one and I'll use the default binding. I know it's the older series. And that would rename it properly. So if I hit rename, now the validate gives me the option to remove the illegal character, the question mark. So I'll validate, hit continue, and now I've renamed that. And I'm sorry, I also have FileBot set up to pull in a subtitle as a post-processing option. Let me turn that off. And that subtitle is not going to match my made-up media. So now we'll bring the newer series into FileBot, just with a drag and a drop. Oh, and we'll use the default binding again. I almost used my own binding. So now we have a choice. We know the 1998 series is the newer series with the US in parentheses. So we'll select that. And we can hit rename, validate the illegal character out of it. And now FileBot has renamed it, but we now know that Plex won't find it. These series are too close, and just having the US isn't enough. It needs the year. So let's drag this one back in. And we'll use a more complex expression. So again, it's the newer US series. So we'll pick that. And now this is adding media info. I actually recorded a 4K video file, so it's adding that information to the file name. We'll validate name. And you see how this file name is much more complex. Well, I may have to start putting the year into my TV database expression for FileBot. But again, with all the series I have, only Space 1999 screwed up. And that's a weird title because there's a year in the title. And this test just happens to be a match on my server. With TVDB formatted file names, it won't match. They'll merge together. With TMDB properly formatted file names, it will match correctly as separate series. So, nice little experiment, and as the old adage goes, every day with Plex is a school day, and I'm trying to teach somebody something here, and I learn a little bit of information myself, which always makes Plex fun. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Have a good day, if I can speak. I'm not a professional YouTuber, and I hope you laugh at me just as I laugh at myself. Take care.